Welcome back to the lab. I threatened to do something that was interesting for you today, so you'll have something to look at. I didn't lie. I did do something. It's not a biggie. In fact, it's maybe the size of my hand. But I did do something. I did a couple other things too. Let's have a look at those first. That all looks exactly the same, doesn't it? Same. Yes, but it's a mighty 200 grams. 200 grams lighter. Where was our noise? Oh, everyone was looking for... No, let's do it again. I can't have... I must have done it wrong. Hang on. We've got a... Oh no. Broken it. Well, fixed it. Broken it. It was good with the... Never mind. Inside joke for you newbies. There was... It's too high for me now. It's a good video, isn't it? There was too much material here, right? We came down about as far as my thumb. And it was just excessive. This was way stronger than it needs to be. You could probably lift the whole car off that bracket as long as it was supported nicely at each end. Well, the ends would probably cave in, to be fair. Anyway, so out with the skill saw. 102 or 104 grams a piece lighter without doing anything significant to the strength or anything, and the design and all that is all exactly the same. There's a little bit of that noise. So that was, I don't know, half an hour, a couple 100 grams. I've very nearly started making up carbon fibre end plates. I do have enough material to make these out of full carbon fibre. Not really sure why I didn't, to be honest. Probably will. I'll get on with that at some point in time, or maybe even just buy some sheet off someone. It's not a very big thing. This, what are we going to call it? Signboard is actually pretty heavy. That whole piece there, that's 8 kgs, or 7.9 or something like that. I'm guessing these are 500 grams, 600 grams a piece. There's probably a bit lying around somewhere we can use to figure that out. I wired up all the mechanism to make the boot open again, so that's done. That works. That was pretty boring stuff. I won't show you that. I abbreviated quite a bit of the wiring. This is only just the main power. There was actually a section of twin core that was reasonably long that got shortened up. This is from our power steering pump, our electric power steering pump. The wiring's just a little bit untidy right there at the pump, but the rest of it's okay. I'll sort that out soon. This earth cable went all the way through that loom, all the way across here, all the way up here, all the way, and just earthed onto the general area near the battery. Electrically, no better off. Weight penalty. Well, let's see. We've removed that. Yes, there's a little terminal gone back on the end. It's probably a gram. We can probably weigh one of those if you really want to. So we've got 70 grams, let's call it, 2 grams for the terminal. That'll do. So 200 from the back, 270 grams so far. That's almost a can of Coke, isn't it? Because we took the earth cable out of that harness for that pump that runs from there and it goes across to the battery over here. Not the battery, the battery. We've gone down, where is it, that one there, we've gone down a size in the sheath that's around the outside of it. So I'm not even going to try and guesstimate how much weight's in that. It's not much. That stuff doesn't weigh a lot. Do you reckon it's going to stay on the scales? You know, it's mostly on the scales. There's 12 grams there. That's probably 25% heavier than the other stuff. So let's call the other stuff 9 grams or something like that. 10, 15 grams out of the car, I guess, isn't it? So basically there's a few other bits. Let's just say I took a can of Coke out of the car. So that's neither here nor there, is it? Depends how much fuel we put in the fuel tank. Either way, there's a thing. I made a thing to go there. That's attached to these, and the stuff. Hopefully the stuff won't come up here. So these are our oil breathers. That one is the transfer box. That one is the sequential box, HTT Precision 5-speed sequential. Yes, going into the same chamber, the same breather. Yeah, you probably shouldn't, but being realistic about it, they're both running the same fluid. There's not actually enough fluid in the transfer box that it would even have a chance of filling this entire hose and getting it up to here and overflowing this. It's just not physically possible. There's only 200 mils of oil in that transfer box, which is, can we see it? There it is there. It's quite a distance away, and it's quite a large hose. I would think by the time you've filled the hose with oil, you've just about run out and there won't be any left to go in here. Significantly longer distance from here down to where the HGT precision box is. She's way back. I'm going to have to lie on the floor for you. Way back there. For those of you that are new to the car, you can see the logo on the front of the gearbox there. Work of art, those things. So the chances of pumping all the oil out of that gearbox up through that AN6 hose, which is reasonable sort of diameter to allow bubbles, etc., so the fluid will run back down. Pumping all the way through into here, extremely unlikely. We'll see how it goes. We'll keep an eye on it. Both have got temperature sensors on board. Both will be logged, so and monitored on the Dash 2 Pro that's in there. We can bring up different screens and bring up different temperatures and all that sort of stuff. So that will all be closely monitored when we get the thing up and running for the first time with this new gearbox. The transfer box has been in the car a while. There's going to be no issues with this. It was fine with a simple empty bottle of that. It was fine with one of these jammed in here somewhere with silicone hose coming from the breather. It did pump out a little bit of fluid every now and then, but with the significantly bigger Dash 6 hose, we're just not going to see that. So had one of these in there since the thing was converted to 4-wheel drive. So that's that. We won't need that anymore. We've got a proper thing. Obviously that's a little bit heavier than what that is. Not concerned about that. It has to be there. Could have been bigger. My wife suggested that I made something similar to this and put it over here, and the more I thought about that, the more I didn't like it, because if it was going to be there and it was going to look sort of like that, to make it look right, it really kind of had to be the same size as that over here, and then that's just way too big and too heavy. And we've been busy running around. I've been busy running around trimming this, trimming that, fiddling with this, fiddling with that, trying to get weight out of the car. And then we're going to put big massive, I say big massive, we weighed this earlier on. There's probably a video shows you what that weighs. It was like 1.6 kgs or something, wasn't it? 1.2 or something. It wasn't heaps. So didn't want to do that. Let's just do that. That looks quite tidy, I think, in my opinion. We've got like a 70-degree fitting, I think it is, on the side there, because it's too hard to have the two straight hose ends and have them at the same height and make it look nice. They poke out at funny angles. Let me just go away. So that's why I've got at the same height. I thought they needed to be at the same height for feng shui, look better. I put an angled fitting on that one there, so that the hoses both come out pretty much at the same angle, so it looks right. We still have to shorten up this battery cable. I've got to put a new terminal on the end of it and take, I don't know, 50 mils off the end of that, so that it actually runs nicely instead of being jammed against the firewall there. Still considering a pedal set for it, to be honest. Do away with that brake booster and all that clumsy yucky stuff there and put a nice set of pedals in it, but I think realistically, with the time frame that we've got at the moment, we've got Christmas is coming up. I don't even want to know. It's not far away. Is it 4 weeks? Something like that. Pretty much New Zealand just goes to sleep for 3 weeks. when Christmas comes along. The week before, it's hopeless getting anything done, and there's basically 2 weeks holiday after that. The first round of New Zealand Super Lap Series is 8th and 9th, I think, of January down in Taupo. So really this whole thing has to be wrapped up within the next 3 weeks, basically, if it's not done in the next 3 weeks, unless it's stuff that I can do at home and organise all the parts beforehand. If we're doing anything like dyno tuning or getting something repaired, any machining done or anything like that, not going to happen. It's just going to be a battle that's not worth fighting. Negativity there, eh? Negative. That's all looking not bad for a K12 March. That is probably on a par with what RML did, but on a slightly different level. They put some fancy Oland shocks in there with reservoirs, and their fuel system had a remote filler that was mounted here somewhere, and that was steel, and it was, well, might have been aluminium, but anyway, that was red, and the rest of the engine bay was red. You guys should look that up if you're interested in this car. Look up RML's K12 March. I'm not sure what they called it, SR something. We need to get some more fake carbon fibre, I would say, and put that on that front bumper to make that look nice. Or go full Monty and finish it all off and polish it. Be a few hours in that. I'd be afraid to use it if I did that. Getting there. Right, that's all. Enough talk. Thanks for watching. I'll do something exciting tomorrow, maybe. I'll see if I can come up with something. Alright. Cheers, bye.